Should we? I'm afraid, because again, I just watched their TV show and I still don't know all the matches, and I can't remember some of the matches they've already announced. And Sockface does it at 116 miles an hour. So should we briefly look at the lineup they have announced so far?
Okay, let's go through this. And I'm looking right now. Someone sent me something about a change to the card, so we'll see what they have. According to Wikipedia.
Wait a minute. Again, we can't just go to AEW.com or whatever, and there right on the home page is not the big lineup for the pay-per-view that they're selling in 6 days.
I made the mistake once again of going to AEW.com, and it's for AEW Asia Pacific, focused on the future of real estate. So let me go to AEW's actual AEW Wrestling. And
well, then that's redundant, because it would only
Wrestling.
be AE Wrestling.
Here's the Rampage results. Oh, Keith Lee's back. He's on Rampage. Lance Archer's back. Lance Archer's on Rampage. How come we don't see any of these people? But anyway.
Because we, along with everybody else, don't watch Rampage.
Where is it? Sunday, March 5th. Here we go. I'm going to click on Revolution, and this is for Ticketmaster. All right. I don't need to buy tickets. Where do I find the card? Events. And then I have upcoming events here. They're going to be at the Cow Palace. Are there dates on here? There are dates. March 5th, Revolution. I'm going to click the event. And apparently all I can do is buy tickets.
Okay. Is there nothing on the when you go to the website that says big pay-per-view this weekend, here's the matches?
No, actually there isn't. The first thing that pops up are the Rampage results. The first story on the latest news is photos, the best of AEW Rampage for February 24th. And then under that, the next story is the AEW Rampage results for February 24th. And before that is the AEW Rampage preview for February 24th. And this
what about the revolution? You say you want a revolution? We'll sell it to you. Here's what's on the menu. What about that?
Well, hold on. Let's go to watch. Maybe it's under watch. How to watch AEW Revolution. Well, no, this just takes you to different streaming partners. So it's not that. Yeah, I don't know about this. Yeah, I don't think they have the card up on the website. So I'm going to go back to Wikipedia. If you don't mind. Jim, the first match listed for the World Trios Tag Team titles, The Elite of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus the House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy.
Well, there you go. If the pay-per-view is another 5-hour job, there's 30 minutes that we can easily skip.
Come on, you're not intrigued to see what will happen when the Young Bucks and the House of Black finally meet?
No, if Buddy was wrestling some serious opponent in a single match, I would watch again because I was impressed with Buddy's potential. The one time I got to see him have a singles match, the rest of the clowns I could give two shits about.
Jim, the next match for the AEW Women's World Championship, Jamie Hayter, the champion, defends against Saraya and Ruby Soho in a 3-way match.
Well, and again, it's a 3-way, whether it's men or women, or even a mixture. It's still going to be the shits because it's not going to make any sense, but we will watch to see whether or not, you know, one of the girls gets dropped on her fucking head, I guess. That's the thing that's going on lately.
Here's what I predict happens. Jamie Hayter works with Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho works with Saraya. Jamie Hayter doesn't have to worry about killing Saraya. That's what that is. In a singles match.
By mutual agreement, I'm sure that will take place.
In a singles match, and this is the one where there was a card change, it is now the Jericho Appreciation Society banned from ringside. Originally, it was everyone is banned from ringside. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks.
Okay, well, why would they change that verbiage unless they were going to have someone that's not associated with the Jericho Appreciation Society come down on behalf of the Jericho Appreciation Society? Yeah. Certainly, and also is Jericho going to be that energetic and chipper as he was about his performance this past week on television, if he's coming into this to lose 2 straight to Ricky Starks. So we pretty much know what's going to happen. It's going to be a fucking screwy finish, and Ricky's going to get fucked.
Is Action Andretti going to turn on Ricky, or is the Big Show going to come out and turn on Ricky? We will find out.
Can they find Action Andretti?
For the AEW TNT Championship, Jim, Samoa Joe, the champion, defends against the former champion, Wardlow.
Boy, I would love to want to see this. And they've just been so bleh with Wardlow, and it's been so aimless and pointless. I love Samoa Joe, and I'm a big fan of his. I'd love to see him working with somebody he could have a great match with, because the story is never there in this booking environment. So, I mean, it'll probably be better than some things we've seen, but I don't know. I don't know whether Wardlow's up to working with another big beast like Joe. From what we've seen before, Joe tries, but Wardlow is still green. And if the build had made people rabid to see this, they would overlook some of the flaws. I'm not holding out a lot of hope.
You know, at this point, I'd rather see Wardlow against Peter Avalon than against Samoa Joe. I'd rather see him against guys like that and just kill him.
Yeah, but the Powerbomb Symphony again, that was, but that was working, so of course they cut that off.
In a Texas death match, Jon Moxley takes on Hangman Adam Page.
Well, again, they got a Texas death match. And where are they, by the way? They're in California.
They'll be at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. Oh, no, excuse me, the Chase Center in San Francisco.
Yeah, they're switching buildings, but at least they were in Texas to have a Texas death match, or a Texas tornado match. Last time they had a Texas death match because they were in Texas. Now they're in California, so they're having a Texas death match.
But they set it up in Texas.
Well, but also, and nobody in Texas popped. Remember that? When Moxley said, in Texas, Texas death. Ready. Page is billed as a cowboy from rural Virginia, but they got to have a Texas death match because it fulfills Plumber Moxley's fantasies of the blood and the blade and the violence and all the pretend shit that he does to imagine that he's a tough guy, when in reality he in another life would be working at the fucking Valvoline.
In a 4-way match for the World Tag Team Championship, the champions, the Guns, Austin and Colton, versus the former champions, The Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, versus the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal winners, whoever they may be.
And now we got a 4-way, and it's going to be, I mentioned it earlier, they probably put Jeff and Jay in there to have somebody to direct traffic amongst what's potentially going to be 3 really green fucking tag teams trying to all do a bunch of shit to each other. And it's not going to make any sense, and they probably ain't going to switch the belts, because then it would start getting ridiculous.
And in the main event, for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, in a 60-minute Iron Man match, the champion, MJF, defends against Bryan Danielson.
You know, we talked earlier in the show about, regardless of the build or what they've done with Danielson going into this or whatever, Danielson and Bryan Danielson, I'm sure, is fully behind the idea of having a 60-minute match, and he's so good at that type of thing. And I'm sure he will put together something that's fabulous. And he's got a great dance partner with a mind in MJF who will have smart suggestions and know how to follow. But again, we talked about the stipulation. It's to start with that. And then also, probably for the base audience who, we're getting a real bang for our buck. It'll be, instant gratification. But what do you come back with after that if they ever wanted to have this match again? What if it does fuck up and draw? I think they put an extra burden on themselves, and not even that they're going to go an hour Broadway where people wouldn't know that ahead of time, but they know how long it's going to be, which kind of, I mean, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart in Los Angeles, you know, they had a heck of a match and they were two of the best in the business, but it was a big city crowd and they knew ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to it, and it sounds like it's going to be by far the best thing on the show. I'm just wondering if they unnecessarily handicapped themselves going in the first time with, we're going to do an hour and the whole 9 yards. But we'll find out. I'm sure it'll be fun for the audience.
Like they started the Saturday pay-per-view trend for wrestling, and now they're on Sundays, and WWE took Saturdays.
Well, wild card, bitches. See, that's what it is.
Indeed.
And I'll tell you what they ought to do at the end of the 60 minutes, whatever the final tally on the falls is, whatever the case. And I believe and I predict that MJF will retain. But then suddenly blackout, and then thunder and lightning, and then snow, and then a plague of locusts, and then it rains frogs.
Oh.
And then they wheel out onto the stage a box. And then
I thought you were building up Sting for a second there.
No, it's going to be even better. And besides, Sting never got frogs.
That's true.
And then, you're a big deal when you get to frogs, baby. And then out of the box bursts MJF's next opponent for the world title and attacks. And there you go. And you're made, the next pay-per-view will sell out. Because it doesn't matter who it is, because everybody knows. No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters.
Everybody knows that anybody that comes out of a box gets over. And I'll tell you something else. Anything that comes out of your box will get over with you. And What's
why did you phrase it like that?
Well, because it will. Because your own personal box of awesome arrives every month from our friends over at Bespoke Post. When that happens, it's time for giggling and joy and merriment and frivolity. You'll be giggling like a schoolgirl with a shiny new vibrator every time that you break into the box of awesome that comes to your door, courtesy, as I said, of our friends at Bespoke Post and at boxofawesome.com. Because these items, amazing pieces of workmanship and craftsmanship, are all curated by hand from small businesses that you might never have heard of otherwise. But they make these incredible products that the Box of Awesome people find and curate for you. I love that word. And they put them in your boxes, and off they come to you every month. They release new boxes across a ton of different categories. So what you do is you just go to boxofawesome.com and you take a quiz to tell them what you're interested. They don't want to send you stuff you're not interested in. Well, they'd never do that. They've got knives and travel essentials and craftsmanship galore. As a matter of fact, I'll have you know, I got the information on it right here. The Weekender.
I remember, yes.
Well, I told you about it, but some of the folks might not know. A versatile bag by line of trade. And it is branded, or the inspiration came from, the design rather, came from the bags that were once used by stonemasons carrying building tools. It's got the heavy-duty canvas, the leather handles and straps, a reinforced metal frame. Stacy stole it for her painting supplies when she goes out in the yard to do the wildlife. And you, too, can have bags and things that you can put stuff in and knives that you can cut shit with and every other kind of thing in the world. I'm telling you, they got gadgets and carnivores and frontiers. You take that quiz at boxofawesome.com, and then a new box valued at around $70 with you paying a mere fraction of that. You will pay no more than 16/8 of the value of this box. And it'll come to you, and you support the small businesses. 90% of everything that comes in your Box of Awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand. Free to sign up. You can skip a month, cancel anytime. What a deal it is. And boy, I'll tell you, have you ever wanted to get into anybody else's box and see what was there? Well, now
in terms of the box of awesome, I'm very happy with what the wonderful people at Bespoke Post send to my house that we open up, and it's our own private awesome.
Yeah, you always want to know what's in somebody else's box or any box.
Well, you're the guy who thinks anything in any box gets over, so I guess it's not a surprise that this is your mindset.
Well, yes, and besides that, if you already know what's in your box, so that kind of eliminates the surprise, unless it's a box of awesome where you don't exactly know, but you pretty well know, and you think it's something you're interested in, but it doesn't know how that it will apply, but nevertheless.
So whose box do you want to look at?
I want to look at everybody's box, because I'm a curious kind of guy. I'm always wanting to look in people's boxes and see what's there. And right now, folks, you can get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Enter the code DRIVE at checkout for that 20% off. You're saving a lot of moolah, a lot of bread, a lot of De Niro, a lot of Robert De Niro. Boxofawesome.com, code DRIVE for 20% off your first boxofawesome.com. Just look in your box and see what you pull out of your box. You'll be amazed.
That's right, Box of Awesome. And our friends at Bespoke Post.